Imagine this. A world compared to the likes of a fiery furnace. A place of punishment and eternal destruction. A land of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Where torment, like smoke, rises forever and ever, leaving the condemned to endure unimaginable pain and humiliation without rest, day and night, for all eternity. This terrible place is known by many names. We call it Hell. According to the Bible, the afterlife is comprised of two places, heaven and hell. The Bible states that at the end of days there will be a final judgment where every human will stand before God and give account for all that they've done. A book of life will be opened, and those whose names are not written within it will be cast into what the Bible calls a lake of fire, this lake of fire being hell. The word hell is often found in the New Testament, and though we generally associate it with the realm of eternal torment, that's not always the case. The Bible has gone through so many translations and iterations that it's easy for a word like hell to be misused or at least misunderstood. For the many times hell is mentioned, the word hell itself isn't actually referring to hell, the place. It's often the case that hell is a translation for the Greek word Gehenna, which itself is the Greek translation for the Hebrew word Hinnom. Now, Hinnom, or Gehenna, whichever you prefer, is a valley south of Jerusalem dubbed the Valley of Slaughter, and for good reason. During the reign of Israel's King Solomon, children were regularly burned alive in the valley as sacrifices to Moloch, an Ammonite god. During the Babylonian invasion of Israel, the valley was then used as a place to dispose mounds of bodies. Eventually, Gehenna was converted into a garbage dump. To this day, it continues to hold a reputation of death, fire, and filth. This is exactly the reason the word Gehenna is translated to hell. Based on the history of this valley, it's literally been hell on earth. Our perception of a place where the devil rules and demons punish the condemned is largely due to pop culture and other forms of media. One of the most popular depictions of hell comes from the Divine Comedy. Written in 1320 by Dante Alighieri, this poem is divided into three sections, Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. But of the three, Inferno is by far the most imaginative. It follows the story of Dante, a man who descends through the 9 circles of hell to search for his lover. Each circle is assigned a sin and a punishment to go with it, categorized from bad to worse the further you descend. The first is Limbo. Being the tamest of the 9 circles, it is described as being similar to Earth. Here you'll find those who were never baptized living in sorrow due to their separation from God. The second circle is Lust. The souls trapped in this circle are tossed around in a powerful windstorm that smashes them against rocks. This is followed by Gluttony. Those who overindulged are pelted by hail and rain while they lie in an icy black slush. Greed. Those who hoarded or spent lavishly are pitted against one another by rolling heavy boulders back and forth. Wrath. Here you'll find the most foul-tempered people sloshing around the river Styx, engaged in eternal fighting while the sullen soak below. Heresy. Those who spoke against God or the doctrine will find themselves trapped in flaming tombs. Violence. This 7th circle of hell is divided into 3 rings. The first ring punishes those who were against their neighbor. Murderers, warmongers, tyrants, those who delighted in bloodshed are ironically boiled in blood. The second is for those who were against themselves. Anyone who committed suicide or attempted it is punished by being transformed into gnarled, thorny trees, only to be torn apart by harpies. During this transformation, the souls remain conscious, feel pain, and are only allowed to speak when they bleed. The third ring is reserved for those who were against God, art, and nature. Blasphemers, sodomites, usurers, they're all forced to dwell in a desert of blazing sand while fire rains down on them. The next circle of hell is fraud. Here you'll find seducers, flatterers, hypocrites, imposters, counterfeiters. Anyone in the business of deception is subjected to whippings, head twistings, mutilation, and even drowning in poop. And those are just a few of them. The ninth and final circle of hell is reserved for treachery. In a frozen lake, traitors of all backgrounds are imprisoned in ice. A stark contrast from the fiery hellscape people tend to imagine. Depending on the severity of their treachery, some are frozen waist deep, while others are completely encased in ice. Here, the devil is frozen at the center of a lake, described as having 3 faces, 2 of which are gnarling on Brutus and Cassius, the men who orchestrated the assassination of Julius Caesar, while the 3rd face gnarls on the head of Judas Iscariot, the disciple notoriously known for betraying Jesus. Dante's Inferno paints a colorful picture of hell, but like many popular portrayals of biblical elements, this representation is not entirely accurate. One of the most common misconceptions is that the devil and his demons rule hell. But as an old friend put it in a previous video, they're not hell's maintenance staff. The Bible states that hell was specifically created for them, not to govern it, but to suffer in it as prisoners. The second misconception is that hell has tiers like Dante's Inferno, but the Bible doesn't support this. Sinners aren't categorized by sins, nor are they assigned to a punishment that fits their crime. In hell, everyone is equal. The torment is shared. It's widely believed that hell is a land of inescapable fire, and there are plenty of Bible verses to support this. Other descriptions include sounds, smells, and sensations that would agonize its inhabitants. The term fire and brimstone is often used, brimstone being an older word used to reference sulfur, an element known for its rotten egg scent. So if you want to know what hell smells like, it probably reeks of burning flesh and rotten egg. But sulfur plays an even bigger role than its foul stench. The Bible describes hell as a place of darkness. Now, is that figurative to emphasize how terrible this place is? Or could it possibly be a genuine description? Remember, this is a place of fire and brimstone being sulfur, which is highly flammable, and when it burns, its flames are blue. Not to mention the fact that blue flames are generally considered hotter than red flames or orange flames. These images of molten sulfur are the closest thing to our reality that can visually represent hell, a blue inferno. Well, there you have it, friends. Hell. Whether you believe in it or not, we can all agree on one thing. If hell is real, it's not a place you want to be. That's going to wrap it up for today's video. Just remember, the internet's a strange place, and for all strange places, you'll need a guide. Allow me to step in, but only if you click that subscribe button for future videos. Thank you for watching. This has been Jonathan from Imagine This.